Hey, Dave here. In this video, I'd like to talk about the new UFO object, UAP object that's been seen in Arizona, Mexico border. Been zooming across the landscape and talk about that a little bit more in depth. Okay, so I talked to the person who released this video. I also talked to the person who is the original source of the video. So the point of this video is to give you a look from my point of view is in terms of what does the symbology mean, things about the video that you might have overlooked. So we'll just kick it off from there. And now for my general disclaimer, all thoughts are my own. I don't speak for any company, organization, or any government agency. Let's get started. These indicators show the position of the FLIR. They do not show the position of the aircraft. Here the turret is looking 0 degrees, 0 degrees. It's not looking up or down, left or right, just looking straight ahead. Here the turret is looking down 45 degrees. Now the turret is looking straight forward but 90 degrees to the right. It has a continuous left-right rotation from 0 to 360 degrees and about a 30 to a negative 120 degrees in elevation. This is the camera info. It shows the selected camera, the scene setting, polarity, filters, focus, gain and level, and field of views. The cameras can come in different combinations, but here are some examples. The FLIR is a shortwave infrared but acts like a day cam in some regards. Here we're going to cycle through 4 different scene temperatures. The scene temps configure the infrared camera for the appropriate temperature. Notice that this frozen water bottle doesn't change much in appearance at all in all the scene temps. The fields of view are magnifications that start at wide, move to medium, then narrow, super narrow, and ultra narrow. Laser status tells you what lasers are available and their status. Platform data shows the aircraft's location, speed, heading, and elevation. The heading tape is a line of sight indicator. The target data gives an approximate speed, elevation, and position of the target. And the system data tells you the steering mode, navigation info, tracker scene, and slave readiness. To slave means to match the steering to an applicable avionics unit like radar. There are a couple surprising characteristics to this object. The first, that it's a complete white thermal heat signature and a black hot scene, so it looks ice cold. Another strange thing is there's actually two objects, and they don't seem to be tethered together by any means, and yet they move kind of harmoniously with each other. Weird. It also appears the relative speed of the object or objects is somewhere around 100 miles an hour by looking at the target data. Lastly, there's no obvious heat come in from these two objects. There's no propulsion from what I see, and there's no moving parts. So I'm at a complete loss what this could be. Latex balloons are typically transparent in midwave infrared. They would not be obvious, rather quite hard to see. When balloons are cold, the helium atoms inside are more compact. Therefore, the latex appears to be deflated and the balloon will sink to the ground. Mylar balloons are what I call floating mirrors. They reflect very well. Notice the heat from the ground on the bottom and the cold from the sky on the top. These balloons would not appear as a solid cold heat signature. They are also affected by the cold just as latex balloons are. And some of you might be thinking, oh, it's probably a drone. Maybe drug running or doing something like that. As you can see by this video, drones have a significant hot thermal signature. Well, that's not too far-fetched, but how are you going to mask the drone with a solid cold heat signature? You're going to have to mask all the hot motors spinning around, mask the heat of the electronics. How does that work? I don't get that. It would actually take heat to generate the cold. So why would they also want to mask it in cold when it's just as identifiable as if it's hot? It's counterproductive. Doesn't make sense. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching my video, and I guess we'll just see you in the next one. Appreciate it.